Hi. It's Mrs. Stitches, Sheila. I am a cross stitcher that lives in southwest Nova Scotia. This is Flosstube24, and the date today is September 19th, 2022. I'd like to first thank those that commented last time. I didn't mean to fish for compliments, but it was really appreciated those that expressed that they didn't want me to stop floss tubing. So I kind of redid my thinking a bit and started planning more. And so part of the planning is I wrote up things, a list of what I want to actually say, or a plan for my floss tube. And that kind of gave me content, and it also helped me stay focused and be a little bit more enthused about doing the floss tube. So it wasn't a task. It kind of, I think the organization makes it a little easier. And the more I do it, the easier it is. So I'm actually early this week, because the other thing is, I think when I feel like doing a floss tube, I should just do a floss tube. You know, YouTube always tells you at the beginning, the way to be successful is to be consistent, to always do it at the same time, to blah, blah, blah. Well, I figure do what works. Do what works for you. And I think sometimes if I have the feeling of doing a cross or a floss tube, which sometimes just arises from watching somebody else's and being inspired by one of the other floss tubers, I should just go with it. So that's what I'm doing. So today's Monday, and I'm going to still try to keep to 2 weeks. We'll see when the next one is. If today's, I better not try to do math when that will be. I think it'd be October 3rd, 2 weeks from now. Well, yeah, I'm not really sure on that. I'm going to leave that, but sometime, probably in October. So I'm going to include some videos. I forgot some things last time. When I told you that I went to pick up my husband, we went through New Brunswick, and there were covered bridges there in New Brunswick. And so I took a video of us going through, I think, the world's largest covered bridge, or North America's, but I think it was the world's largest covered bridge. So I took a video of it. So I'm going to insert that here right now.
Or you can start tweeting. I'll shut up.
We'll probably see that going back up. Yep. Here's, we're in Heartland, New Brunswick. We've just done a little, even though we got a long driving day today, we've done a little road trip. This is the longest covered bridge in the world. Welcome. You are now entering the longest covered bridge in the world. And we have cars in front of us that are a bit confused because you probably have to, one side probably has to yield to oncoming traffic, I'm going to assume. This just says stop array. This guy's still going to be taking his time. So here we go. We're going through a covered bridge in New Brunswick, Heartland, where they also have the covered bridge chip factory. I'm going to just do a little, we're going to be a bit slow here. We're going to do a little side view. Can't see anything because it's too dark, but we're back to the bridge. Look at it. Too bad we can't actually see the river over there, but it's because we're too dark here, but that's it. So we're just going through this. I always take you guys on a bridge and then back again. Pretty funny, but isn't this pretty? Heartland, New Brunswick. And are we going over the St. John River? Oh, he's gonna give me a thumbs up. At first he wasn't quite sure, but then he gave me a thumbs up. So look at this. This is a nice little tourist attraction. We came here once before and it was closed. That was one of my birds in the background. We have the whole family except for our 2 cats. My neighbor's looking after our 2 cats. But we have Mr. Bond and Mr. Chicken Hawk and our dog Olive. So once we're out of the bridge, I'm gonna just do a video of the river that we went over. It's just right back there. And we're gonna turn around and go back through the bridge again. So this is where I remember before. One lane. Here we go. Ah, there's a stop sign there. Oh, we're not stopping though. Okay. You might be able to see a bit. Oh, see, you can see a bit through the river on this side because it's darker now. Look at that. That's probably really freaking people out. Here we go. We don't want to make too long of a detour because we have places to go. We have to get home. It's a 10-hour driving day. So we're hoping to get home not too long after dark. Look at the lineup to go across the bridge now. That's our detour. Yay! Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. It was fun. That was actually really fun. At least, you know, when we have things that, whenever we have road trips, he always tries to make it enjoyable for me. So that was great. So I have haul. I have Stitchy Kindness. I have one new start. I have one fully FFO, fully finished object. And I have some whips to show you. And let's get started. So let's see, what should I start with? I'm going to just tick off things as I go so I can stay on track. I'm going to first start off with a whip. I'm going to kind of mix this up a bit. So I'm going to start off with a whip. When I saw you guys last, after I'd done my whip parade, I had my temperature tree out and I was behind about 3 weeks. And so I said, I'm going to do this today. And I did. So now I'm 2 weeks behind, which I'm going to say again, I'm going to do it today. So every time I do a floss tube, I will do my temperature tree. But I shall show you my temperature tree. And just before I show you my temperature tree, I'm going to insert a tiny video and some photographs of a strange phenomenon we get here. I think I told you before we get lots of fog. And this happened, probably about a month ago. I put it on my Instagram. We get these things called fogbows. They're like rainbows, but they're formed by the fog. And if anybody is scientifically minded out there, they might know exactly how they're formed. But what I believe it is like with the rainbow, it's probably the moisture in the air refracting the light as the sun comes and it makes this spectrum of colors. With a fogbow, it's not so much the colors, but you get this arc. And so I'm going to insert a video and some still photographs here of a fogbow. I think it's pretty darn unique and pretty cool. So here's the fogbow. This is what you call a fogbow. This seems to be, we get the sun coming out. It was really sunny this morning and then the fog crept in and we got this fogbow and you can see it really cool right here by the water. That is just amazing. Really neat. Is a fogbow. Right now there is blue sky above me, but the fog has been trying to come in. So it seems like we're right on the edge of the fog, and that is quite the fogbow. Isn't that amazing? Wow. It is so cool. Something I never saw anywhere besides here. Oh my gosh. I just love that. How was that? So this year we've gotten less fog. We actually had a really awesome summer. We're having a great fall so far. We might be getting Hurricane Fiona this Saturday. Right now she's forecasted to just miss us and she's going to sort of hit Cape Breton and Newfoundland. But you never know. We're getting a system tomorrow. We're going to get like 30 to 50 millimeters of rain over the next couple of days. And that system is supposedly going to push Fiona a little bit further offshore so that she doesn't hit us. But we actually get kind of excited about hurricanes. We never get them super bad. So, I mean, I feel bad for people where it causes some big damage or it could be life-threatening. My husband and I, we're all about experiencing things, and we'd like to, we find it exciting to experience. I'm also a little scared, but it'd be kind of fun to experience some extreme weather. But that's not here right now. Right now, I'm just going to show you a temperature tree that I got caught up on as of about the first week of September. So 2 weeks ago. So this is my temperature tree, and you can see how great of a summer we've had. It's been awesome. pretty consistent temperatures, but it's really neat to watch the way it evolves. So I am going to carry on with that. It'll be really interesting to me to see if November, December end up being kind of, or even October. I don't think October will be anywhere near what March was, but it'll be just interesting. Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing you. So here's January, February, March. And I'm thinking that December and November might be similar temperatures. I don't think October will. I think October's going to... This is October. No, this is September. We're in September. So I think October is just going to be a carryover from September. But we're already getting a little bit chillier, and the highs are more like around 14. So maybe it will look more like March. We'll see. Probably will. Probably it'll be nicely symmetrical. So that was my temperature tree. Okay. And I'm going to cross things out, be easier to see. Okay. I'm going to show you something. Well, let's show you my new start. Yeah, good thing I got organized because I'm really all over the place. But I'm going to still show you my new start. So my new start came about. I have a bunch of kits, and at some point I will do a kit parade. Just not there yet. But I had bought this new start. It is a kit at a garage sale. I think it was $3. It is not cross stitching per se. It is like an embroidery. I think they call it stitchery. It seems to be embroidery. I think there probably will be some cross stitch, but it's like a stamp thing. So this is what it is. It's called House on Elm Street. And I used to live on Elk Street, so I might just change it to House on Elk Street. So the instructions are, it's yarn, and the instructions work, they start off, there's lots of instructions. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a neat thing to do. They start off up here, and then we're going to work our way down. So I'm up in they call it the roof in the attic, and I had insomnia. And I just got in my head that I wanted to start this. I had all the yarn sorted, and I had read through some of the instructions. And so I got started. So this is what I mean by it's stamped. And then you kind of fill in some things and some things you don't. So I might afterwards with cross stitching pick out some threads and cross stitch more and make it like a full coverage, because I don't think I like the blank look behind. But so far I was just doing like lots of satin stitches. And so I did all this part of this roof here, and this sort of stained glass window. That's a lampshade. Bring it a little bit closer. That was a chest. That's a lantern. That's like a form. There's the roofs. And I'm working on all the shingles now, which is sort of like back stitching, but satin. It's like back stitching, really. So that's, I think it has around 23 colors or something like that. Probably says on it. But it was mindless yet not mindless, because you still had to read the instructions. So you kind of have to do things in a certain order. So it's interesting. It's kind of different, but not really hard. And because it's different, it's sort of, yeah, kind of, I was tired. I didn't want to cross stitch because I've been cross stitching all day. So it just was, yeah, something nice to pick up. And like I said, after I finish it, I might even just fill it in more with actual cross stitching. It's yarn, but there also is some floss-like threads. I'm not sure if they're as thin as floss or if they're a little heavier weight, but there is some that will be coming up. But for the most, but it might be using all 6 strands. I'm not sure. I think we'll see. But the yarn, you kind of, it's like a 3-ply yarn, and you're actually just separating out 1 ply, and you're just using 1 ply. So that was my new start. I'm going to have more new starts, but that was my new start. So, okay. I don't have that tomorrow. This is my FFO that I did. I finally finished something. We went on a road trip, and I got into a fabric store, and I bought a whole bunch of fabrics. So I got 3 FFOs that I plan to do over the next little while. So next video might have 2 FFOs because they're all Halloween inspired. So this is Halloween Quaker. I did it last year. I finished it last year in the month of August. by Lila Studios. And I did my own personalization for anyone who's new here. We have two birds, and you might hear them in the background. I don't think you will though. We have an African gray and a green cheek conure. So I put the African gray in right there. His name is James Bond. And so this was a row of crows, but leading them is my African gray Mr. Bond. And I use all my own colors. I just picked from Stash and randomly picked colors. The only thing that didn't work out was my moon. It's a bit light. Kept thinking I might fix it. Not going to fix it. So I'll bring this up close to see, but this is Lila Studios Halloween Quaker. And to tell you the truth, I absolutely love the colors I chose. Some of them are, there are all sorts of different ones. A lot of them are M&Ms, almond M&Ms, but some of them are just other colors, DMC or what have you. Oh, and I just love, it was really fun to pick different colors. JS stands for my husband's initials, and also James Bond. Except he doesn't have an S initial, but oh, look at that. And so I finished this in a pillow because that's the easiest thing for me. I got a bunch of, and there's cat hair all over it already. But this is the back. How cool is that? Isn't that nice? I love that. I got 3 different fabrics. They probably got ripped off. They were about $5 for, this was the square. Like I don't think I cut anything. I just sewed it. It fit perfectly. And I think the next one will fit too, I hope. And then, like I said, I got three to finish, two more to finish. So that's my FFO. Halloween Quaker by Lila Studios. Okay. Do even have those on here. So let's get right away to the whips, and then I will work my way through the rest of this as I go. So, okay, we just finished a road trip. These aren't going to be necessarily in order. And I now have made by Kathy Barrick, I think it's called A Bee Study, my travel piece. And so this is, I started working on this, a big, huge beescape right here. I think that's what they're called. So I started working on that. And look at my needle minder. My husband gave me that as a gift. We went to a local needle shop in Moncton called the Stitch Bee. And he bought that as a surprise. He also came out with a package. I do not know what he bought me. I'm very excited. I think I think he's going to do me a little Advent thing for October or for November or just Christmas, or anniversary is October 1st. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to give me, but I'm really excited. But anyways, and I bought some stuff myself, which you'll see in Stash. But anyway, so this is like a book. I'll show you what it's going to look like when it's finished here. And right now I'm about 30% done. So it's a great travel piece, especially because right now all I got is a whole bunch of filling in here. And I'm actually running out of one color here. So I got to go through my stash and find more of that color, or check and see if I can buy it somewhere. So there you go. A bee study. And it's neat, her pattern. She has on the spine of the book, K. Barrick, but it's not charted in the thing. So I think we got the letters and we can personalize it. So it's nice that my last name is a B. And so I like it with a B study. That's my married last name. So it's going to be Sheila B. And we'll see. So I have to get to personalize that. Okay, so that's my travel piece. I just worked on that yesterday only. So we went on 2 trips since I've last seen you. And the other trip, it's a very windy road. So I didn't actually do any stitching, like cross stitching, but I have a blanket that I'm crocheting, and I found that crocheting works really well. So I'm going to show you the crocheting now. So I don't often show you, but I crochet and knit, and later on I will show you one of my knitting projects. But, oh, hi, honey. But this is, I'm just crocheting a blanket. And the funny thing about this, and maybe some of you have experienced this, I started this to use up some yarn. Oops, oh, I just pulled out stitch. Yikes, oh crap. Okay, I'll fix that. That's one thing I like about crocheting over knitting is you don't really drop stitches, but you just backed up. But this is my blanket. So I'm kind of randomly choosing my yarns that I picked, and it's changing now to that. And so this color way down here is the one that I was going to try and use up. I've used up well over half. So I was going to try and what I've done here, mirror it on the other end, and then I'm kind of just trying to be creative in the middle. But this is my blanket, so it's going great. And it was super easy to do while traveling car, except it's getting a bit big now, so it's a bit large for a travel piece. But I also have my knitting. I'm knitting a toque and other stuff, so there we go. Okay, let's just do my whip parade, and then I'll go through my book and make sure I've covered everything. But I did the crochet blanket, did the Fogbow, did the covered bridge. Okay, we're doing great. Okay, so every 10th of the month, and also if I remember on the 20th and the 30th, I work on Poltergeist Pirates by Glenda Place. And that will be what it looks like when it's done. And I worked on this. I had an error, but I sorted it out. I figured it out what I'd done wrong, and I just fudged it. Hopefully it's all fudged correctly. And this is where I'm at. So I'll be working on that again tomorrow. Probably get 2 times working on it before I see you next. So hopefully there'll be lots done. It's a fun stitch, fun stitch. So that is on a 28 count. I think it's 28 count. Blue linen or even wheat. I'm not sure. I'm really horrible with fabrics, and I got to get better. But I'm just not. Next is Dark Queen of the Earth. This is a stitch along, being done by, I'll put it in the comments below. I think it's Witchy Stitcher, but I'm not positive. And they come out every month with a release. So it started September 1st. And my fabric is by hand dyed by Rolanda. It is called Beanstalk. And it is a 28 count. And this is the first part that's been released. I'm going to just move my needle minder out of the way. And I have shiny threads in the middle there. I mixed Krynic and a beige because I didn't have the Petite Treasure braid. But that is my start of my Dark Queen of the Earth. Now, this leads me to Stitchy Kindness, because once you are part of the, once you bought the pattern, just a minute, I gotta find some scissors. There's some scissors. You can join their Facebook group, but you have to have the actual receipt number of your buying the pattern to be accepted to the group. So it's a very private group, only people who've bought the pattern. And on the site, some very kind person, Anna, thank you, Anna, she said she accidentally bought 2 bead packs. Would anybody like one? And I said, I'd love one if you're willing to ship to Canada, 'cause she was in the States. And she was fine with it. I offered to pay and she wouldn't accept it. And when this happened was right when the truck had broken down in Quebec. And so it was a very appreciated kindness. And so it just arrived yesterday. So I'm going to open it right now here and show you the bead pack. So that's exciting. So let me see if I can figure out how to cut into this. You're probably all cringing because I'm cutting with scissors. But well, what else do you cut with? But they're my Stitchy scissors, but they're not an expensive brand, but I love them all the same. Okay. there it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's my little bead pack. So I can now see under it. This was released by Under the Sea Fabrics, the bead pack, and all the fabric packs were also by Under the Sea Fabrics. A nice little envelope. Oh, I'll open it up. Open it up gently. What a pretty envelope. Oh, there we go. Wow. Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's Autumn Lane Stitchery. I should have known that. And that's the start of the bead pack, embellishment pack, Dark Queen of the Earth. And I'm just going to open up a little further here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, it comes with a beading needle. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is one of my first ever embellishment packs and getting real beads. I don't know how well these are going to show up, but these are called Picture Jasper. They're like little wooden beads. I'll probably take some photos. I'll take a photo and show them all. This is just a collection of really fancy beads. These are Miyuka Delicus, sort of a brown and some white and some yellows and some greens and some more. These are called Snowflake Jasper. They're gorgeous. Oh, I don't think you can see. And then some more Miyuki Delicas that are kind of like a brown or brownie. And then, so cute. I believe it's a little beading needle in the shape of a bunny on a little like foam thing. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Anna. I really, really appreciated it. It sounds like a minor thing, having a vehicle break down, but you know, we had just spent $2,500 and we really just lost it all. It went to a junkyard and didn't get anything back. So, you know, we're out one vehicle or truck. And so it's kind of frustrating or frustrating time, and just kind of really brightened my day to get a bead pack given to me like that. It's that was something really special. So great stitchy kindness. Thank you. And she doesn't even know I had a floss tube. I don't know if she's going to watch me. I did tell her that I have a floss tube. So hopefully she's watched, and hopefully she gets this. Thank you. And there we go. That was my stitchy kindness. Okay. Onward. Onward, onward, onward. Put that away. Everything's in order. Hey, let's see. Next. We shall show you Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I am gonna finish this before Halloween. That is a given. I am probably, like, this is 2 blocks. I didn't bring up the cover page, but you've mostly seen it, and I'm also getting to the point where it's mostly there. So I'm working on the center block, and I am making good progress. I'm going to just move this needle minder. I'm going to hang the needle and just move this a little bit down there. Oh, that's not very good. Let's just stick it right in. Let's put it here. I'm going to just put it through at the back and stick it to the back. That's probably the smartest way to go. Then we don't have a hanging thread and you don't see it. Perfect. Get my glasses down so I can see what I'm showing you. So, like I said, I'm working on the center block, and it's 2 witches with a pot. So I'm getting close to done with this one. I got a bat, her hand, part of the pot, part of the smoke coming up. Look at those colors. Isn't that amazing? So now back out. So I am right on target. And that is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. It will be done before Halloween, I'm probably gonna do like have a rod at the top and a rod at the bottom and have it a wall hanging that way, just a weighted rods on it. So which is a quick finish. So I probably will get that actually finished and hanging for Halloween, I believe. Okay, that was probably pretty loud. The parts of the Q-snap. Okay, next, the last whip. So I haven't actually worked on, every evening I've been working on, I didn't bring in my 3 weekly projects. Gonna leave those till next week. Those are the my Herbalarius and Language of the Flowers and Teresa Wentzler's Brilliant Plumage. I did work on them. I believe I only worked 1 day maybe on them. So I didn't get a lot done. So I may have worked 2 days on them. I can't remember, but I didn't get a lot. I've been really focusing on Halloween at Hawkhorn Hollow. So I'm not going to show them this time. I'm going to show them next time in 2 weeks. But finally, the last one I'm going to show you is my Felix, which is a present for my husband. This was requested by him, so it's not a surprise. This is his birthday present next year. I might get it done before Christmas. We'll see. And if I do, then we'll just see. We'll see what I do. If I get him something else for his birthday or just give it to him. So there we go. So I think I'm at 60% done, if not more. I think I'm at 60% done. So it's coming along great and it looks gorgeous. And you would never know that there's I want to say there's 200. There's 150. It was 2 boxes, I can't show you, but 2 boxes of floss bobbins. And I am eliminating colors as I go now, and now I'm down to 1 box, which is super exciting. So that's a big step. I think every day for this week I've been finishing off about 5 colors. So it's really nice to put them back into my big, huge inventory and everything. So my husband just shut the door, so it shook the camera. Sorry about that. Okay, so gonna get back to my notes here. So those are my whips. Let's see. Temperature Tree, Felix, Dark Queen of the Earth, Pirates, Pulsaress, HRH, and Be Steady. Those are all my whips. I did them all. So we did go on a trip yesterday. And we went to Moncton, like I showed you the little needle minder I got. I did get some other stuff. I didn't bring it up here. But I'm going to show you the 2 main items I got. So it was, we went to look at a boat. It was a long trip. It was 5.5 hour drive there and then 5.5 hours back. So it should have been, husband was counting for a 12-hour day. It ended up being a 15-hour day. I don't think that was all my fault at the LNS, but who knows? So he went to look at a boat first, and then luckily this stitch shop called the Stitch Bug was open. Come on, hop up. Come on. And so we found it. Now in hindsight, it would have been really smart to have had him drop me off and then him go look at the boat and then come back and pick me up. He just shut the door again. Sorry about the jiggle. And he, but we didn't. We went and looked at the boat first, and then we drove to the LNS. Now, what was really fun was actually he came in, and so I ended up buying 2 patterns, and I got the fabric for them. And I was a little overwhelmed. So I have not been, that is only the 3rd LNS I've been into, and it was fun. It was a wonderful little shop, and they're really great at servicing and cutting the fabric and figuring out the size with pattern and cutting it to size. Even like one of them had lots of, she let me pick which corner I wanted, and then they serged the edges, and they would help me pick out anything. I sort of kitted one up with beads, and then afterwards they asked me, did you want the embellishment pack? I'm like, no, I just finished doing that, so didn't get the embellishment pack. So what did I get? So the first thing I got, and I'm going to take this out because, so you can see the fabric. So I got everything inside the bag here. It'll be easier to see. Heaney. Hi, Heaney. Bye, Heaney. So I got by Glendon Place. These are both by Glendon Place. I got the Witch's Wheel. And I remember this was a giveaway on Michelle Bendy's, and I so wanted to win it and didn't. So I was kind of glad I actually went out and purchased that. And this is the fabric I got for it. And I think that's going to work perfectly. And everything's about to fall off my lap. So I think that's going to work perfectly. It doesn't have quite as much yellow as in the picture one, but so that is called Orange Grove, and it's a 32 count. Orange Grove, 32 count Jobelin. Yeah, I got the actual notes. I can actually tell you what these things are. It has beads, which I bought. I think I'm missing one set of the beads right now here because I actually have it in my, when I kitted up my chatelaine, I needed a gold, and I bought, I think, 3 different kinds of gold, and I know that one of the golds is the one the gold's called here, and I think it's an extra gold I have, so I didn't buy that one. But so this is one of the beads here, which is sort of a green. It's called, oh, I don't have the color names on these. And then there's an orange. I was worried that the orange would be too close, but it'll stand out. And magenta and a purple, and then, like I said, there's a gold. And what it is this is all stitched in black, but any color you see on there, let's see, so there's some color there and some color there and some color there. Any color you see, and there's like purple all right down there on that hat, is all beads. And right in the center is all beads. So it's all beads or black. So that's going to be fun. And I think why Michelle Bendy didn't like it is because I don't think some people don't like stitching things. It's like a mandala, and so you're stitching the same thing, but you're doing them in different orientations. And so you're going to be stitching 4 witches' faces. You're going to be stitching 4 of these little side things. You're going to, so on. So I have no issue with that. So I find it, you know, it's a journey, and I like the looks of it. So that was called Witch's Wheel by Glendon Place. Don't know when I'm going to start it, but I got the fabric, I got the beads, and I got black. I got DMC, so I can start that anytime. So, and then the next one I got is one that I think lots of people have gotten. I'm going to take it out. It is the Sleepy Hollow by Glendon Place. And I thought it was just meant to be because I found the exact right fabric there. So, and it has some beads also. So, there's Sleepy Hollow. I'm sure lots of people have done this or seen this. The only specialty thread it has, well, it's charged for lots of things, but is this here, I believe, is a Karen Water Lilies, and I couldn't find that. That wasn't in the shop. So I think I have some fancy flosses, not Karen Water Lilies, but I got some other ones that might work well for that. So I'm going to see how that works. Now I'm going to do some adjustments too. I noticed on his saddle there, it says SH for Sleepy Hollow. I'm going to do my initials SB instead, just for fun, just for personalization. So that'll be easy personalization. The fabric I got is called Wise Wolf. And how great is that? I will figure out which side and which end to do, but I am very pleased with that. And if you look, how close of it's a pretty close match to what they have in the model stitch. So that's exciting. And so far I just got 2 beads. They're both a silvery type bead. 2 different sort of silvery type beads. So that's great. And I bought some Krynics. They might be for one or the other of those. Or no, I think they're for Dark Queen of the Sea. I bought some Krynics. And I also bought some thread conditioner. And I got a couple more needle minders. And I think that's everything. And like I said, my husband walked away with a little black bag. I don't know what's in it, but I can't wait till when I find out. And I don't even know when I'm finding out. So that's exciting, 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 exciting. So I need my notebook of, here it is, of what to tell you next. I was thinking of stopping the floss tube. Oh my gosh, how much fun is this? Okay, so that was my LNS trip. One thing I'm going to start doing is I tell you all the time that I watch Stitching at the Cabin, and she was the one that inspired me to start my floss tube. Hi, Julie. I'm sure Alyssa's had her baby already, which is really exciting. And she always spins sometimes to decide what to stitch on. So I'm going to be finishing up Halloween at Hucker and Hollow. I tend to stitch on that in the evening. It's like sort of my at the end of the day stitch type thing. So I have Monday, Wednesday, Fridays already designated what I stitch. And I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start spinning a wheel. And the wheel is going to be for the 2 weeks of my floss tube. Whenever I have some spare time, that's what I'm going to stitch on. So I'm actually going to insert a video of me spinning the wheel, and you're going to see which whip I get to stitch on. So I'm actually going to stop right now and do that so it's live, so I don't have to fake anything. So I'll be back in just a minute. You're going to see this wheel spin. Okay, here we are. This is what I'm going to stitch on the next 2 weeks. One of these squares is New Start. So we'll just see. And I accidentally just spun that wheel. So if that ends up what's coming up, I already got the video for it. But if not, then I'll just save that for some other day or something. So here we go. Oh, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Oh, Dark Queen. That's Dark Queen of the Sea. So that's rather appropriate. So I shall be working on Dark Queen of the Sea. How much I can get done of Dark Queen of the Sea. That's kind of like a queen theme. Yay. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so there you go. I had a little bit, I had to take the phone off the tripod. So hopefully it's in the right spot. But that's exciting. Dark Queen of the Sea. So really, really appropriate after I got the Stitchy Kindness that I now will be working on Dark Queen of the Sea for the next 2 weeks. And that's really great too, because it'll be just about when the next release for the Dark Queen of the Earth's release. So awesome. Happy with that. Okay. Let's see. So that was my spin. I'm calling it my spin for focus. So it's just to focus on till the next floss tube. So I was going to tell you a little story. I thought I'd just like give you, I don't know, I just thought little stories of myself from the past. And so this, I don't know how entertaining it is. I know when I'm stitching, when I'm watching Flosstube, I'm actually stitching. And so I sometimes really enjoy stories. So there's going to be no more stitching content other than I wanted to shout out Stitching on the Rock. I just happened to come across her. I'm watching her from the beginning, and she lives in Newfoundland. And I'm not sure how many videos she has out, but I enjoyed watching her videos. She was giving little Newfoundland at the beginning. I don't know if she carries on with it, but she was giving little Newfoundland sayings or trivia. And my family from way back when is from Newfoundland, and my husband and I actually went to Newfoundland for our honeymoon, and I kind of love Newfoundland. So it's just kind of, I enjoy watching it. So Stitching on the Rock, I'll put it in the description box below. So the story of me is I was born in Canada, but when we were young, when I was about 5 years old, we moved to Seattle, and I lived in Seattle till I was around 10 or 11, so about 5 years or 6 years. And when we were about to leave, obviously we had our house for sale, and my mom worked and my dad worked, and I have two older brothers, and so us kids were often, this is the 70s, and it wasn't, I'm sure it was just a scarier world, but it didn't seem scary to us, and so we were often home alone type thing. I guess they called you a latchkey kid or whatever when you went to school and you came home to an empty house until the parents came home from work. But I remember, so I have two older brothers, and so I'm the only girl, and I often played alone, and I would just pretend, a lot of imagination. I often would play board games, and I pretend that there'd be other people sitting around playing the board games with me, and I'd roll for myself, roll for them, etc. I'd do that for hours. And I also would pretend that I wanted to be, when I grew up, I thought a secretary was a job that I imagined would be wonderful. I always thought it would be, kind of all dressed up in a fancy dress and typing away. I just kind of pictured that as this neat job. And so to pretend, I had a closet in my bedroom, and I pretended that the closet was the elevator. Now, this was an old house, and for some reason, I don't know why they did this, but my closet door had no handle on the inside. So it only has I don't even know how they do this. I can't even imagine now this is an adult, but this is what I remember from that time, is there was no handle on the inside. And so I kind of closed the door, but I wouldn't close it fully. But I don't know what happened this one day. Somehow the door closed completely, and I'm essentially locked in my closet. And it was a small closet. I imagine it was only like 2 by 2 or something like that. As a kid, it was black. I was locked, and it was scary. And there was a bar across that the clothes hung on, and it was like in 2 little hook things, and I was able to get the bar down, and I started beating on the door with this bar. It's just a wooden rod, and I think eventually my brothers heard me and came and opened up the closet door. Meanwhile, I did a bunch of damage to the inside of the closet, so I got in a bit of trouble from my parents for that, because here they were trying to show the house and trying to sell the house, and now I just did some damage to a closet door. But I was scared. I was panicking. Now, flash forward to about let's say 30 more years later in life. And I'm working. I worked with a research institute. I was studied fish diseases. I worked with the government, and we would collect samples to see if the fish were sick or not. And so my boss was a scientist. I was sort of the technician. I did all the histology, and it was a really interesting job. Loved it. And at one point, we went down to, it was about a 3-hour drive to a remote part of BC, to a fish plant, and it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And we get there, we'd done a lot of logging roads to get there and stuff, and it was early morning when you started traveling, so you're drinking coffee, and I get there and I kind of have to go to the bathroom. And so I asked them, well, where's the bathroom? And the guy says, oh, it's in this building that was like a garage and way at the back. And so I go there, close the bathroom door. I don't know if it had a lock or anything. I think it had a lock, and go to the bathroom. And then I go to open the door, and I can't open the door. and all of those feelings rush back. They are a long ways away from me. They're standing outside BSing, my boss and this other man that we just met. And I am just panicking. I try and open the door, and my heart is just starting to race. The adrenaline and it's pounding. And, you know, you kind of, I guess it's a kind of form of claustrophobic that you just feel like you can't get out. And I just fiddle with the thing, and I'm started like banging on the door, and I start yelling. At least this time I didn't do damage to the door. I just was panicky. And it took me right back to being 10 years old in Seattle. It's just like, wow. So that's my little story, a little bit about me being scared of being locked in places. I'm sure everybody is. But that's just a little bit flashback on my life. And I'm going to, over the next 2 weeks, I'll try to think of something to share, whether it's a story of my past or something new. I got stories. I got lots of stories. And yeah, so I'd like to try to share some with you just so you can get to know me a bit better, because I really haven't told a lot about me. Just told you a lot about me. Okay, so I did my shout out. I did my story. That's everything I got on my list. So all I got to do is remember to include the videos that I've mentioned. So that's it for me for this 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody, for spending time with me, and have a great stitchy couple of weeks, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks' time. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Wharf Rat Rally. Wharf Rat Rally means motorbikes here all weekend long. This be just a minor sound of Wharf Rat Rally. Wharf Rat Rally. Wharf Rat Rally. Yep.